We are protected. We are white. Come on, we're white. More than 1,700 doctors and nurses and paramedics who have been killed. If you go to Gaza today, the families, even in the tents, will make you a meal. Must be quite impressed by the fact that the Palestinian resistance in Gaza has resisted the Israeli army and the US support for more than 2.5 years now. I'm a medical doctor. My Kalashnikov is my stethoscope and my camera.
A doctor who chose to stand with the people of Gaza when they needed him the most. One of the first European doctors who chose this path to give where few others dared to go. A doctor who left behind his own safety to provide care in some of the most dangerous conditions on earth. He has witnessed suffering firsthand inside Gaza's hospitals during the hardest days of war. This doctor is Dr. Mats Gilbert. It's an honor to have you here, Dr. Mats.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And if I may, at the very beginning, thank you for the nice introduction. I would like to underline that the doctors who most fulfill the description you gave of me are the Palestinian doctors and the Palestinian nurses and paramedics in Gaza and in the West Bank. They leave their homes and their families every day and they risk their lives. I am safe back in Norway, but my admiration and my attention would be towards them and not me. Thank you.
Thank you. It's I'm pretty sure all the Palestinians, even the Palestinian doctors, they have this appreciation to you. Dr. Mats, before you become Dr. Mats, who is Mats Gilbert?
I'm a very ordinary Norwegian boy, born and raised and educated in Oslo, the capital, which name unfortunately has been stained by the Oslo Treaty or the Oslo Accord, which was a very bad deal for the Palestinians. Went to school there, come from a family, 3 kids, mother and father. Very radical mother, well-read father. My bigger sister is also a doctor, and the 3 of us had a good upbringing, safe, food, water, school, clothes, everything that you don't find in Gaza, we had all the time. And I went to medical school in Oslo, and I moved to North Norway very early because I like North Norway.
Okay.
It's a bit like Gaza. And I became politically active during high school, and I've always been engaged in international solidarity work.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a doctor in order to try to contribute to the struggle for a better world.
Okay.
The resistance, the liberation, the solidarity medicine, as I call it. Solidarity medicine to me is the most important. It is to side up with the oppressed. It is to stand on the side of those who are occupied, who are suffering, and do my share to support them through my medical work. I'm not a fighter. I'm a medical doctor. My Kalashnikov is my stethoscope and my camera and my science. So I also want to do research in order to give more evidence to what's going on. I call that evidence-based solidarity.
But you said you started studying medicine, or before you even started, you knew that you want to help people in difficult in other places than Norway, let's say, and one of these places have been Gaza, and Gaza is not the only place you went to. But if we focus on Gaza, Palestine, when did you take that decision that Gaza needs me, I need to be there?
Well, my first mission to work with the Palestinian healthcare system was actually to Beirut.
Okay.
In 1981 and 1982. So I went with the Norwegian Palestine Committee, which is an old solidarity committee in Norway, and we started to formulate emergency surgical teams a small group, a surgeon, an anesthesia doctor, a scrub nurse, and a coordinator. And when we were asked by the Palestinians, at that time it was the Hilal, the Palestine Red Crescent Society, who was appealing to us to come to their support in Beirut. So I went to Beirut during the Israeli bombing in 81, and then I went back again during the Israeli invasion of Lebanon and the siege of Beirut, the summer of 1982 that ended with Sabra and Shatila massacres. That was the first time I really met the Palestinian people. I met Abu Ammar, I met Abu Shihad, I met all these leaders, and I learned about the occupation, about the diaspora, and not at least did I learn about the Israeli brutality and the merciless war machine that the Israeli colonialists used against the Palestinian people. And from that on, I've been working with the Palestinians for many years. So it's more than 40 years.
So it started from 1981 when you went to Beirut and you met the Palestinian people. But when was it that you found out that your own life can be at risk, where you're basically in a war zone? When did you feel most, not afraid, but it was really dangerous to be there?
It's so much talk about the dangerous thing. There are almost zero white relief or medical workers who are killed. We are protected. We are white. Come on, we're white. So if that question should be answered, I think it's a more important question to address the more than 1,700 doctors and nurses and paramedics who have been killed in Gaza during the last 2.5 years, and they are all Palestinians. Not one single, to my knowledge, white Western relief worker, medical relief worker, has been killed. So I never felt that my life was in danger. First of all, because I always felt very well protected by the people I came to serve. So I always worked with the people in their system and not on the outside of the system. And I guess Palestine became very special because of the situation of the Palestinian people. And I started to work in the West Bank, and then I went to Gaza during the first Intifada in 89. And I saw Gaza, and I saw the struggle of Gaza.
First time you saw Gaza?
Yeah, that was in 89, and I worked on missions with the UN, with WHO, and with a number of organizations. And then we established an NGO in Norway called Norwegian Aid Committee, Norwak, in 83, and I worked with them for many years. And Gaza immediately captured my heart. I don't know. Palestine captured my heart. But Gaza was so special. The resistance, the resolute people, their immense hospitality, their gentle way of living their lives under occupation, all of this, it felt almost like coming home. So Gaza became my second home. And then I went back and forth every year for a few times, and I went to Gaza on medical missions during all the major attacks. I was there in 2006, 2009, 2012, 2014, and worked in Mustashfa al-Shifa, worked in Mustashfa al-Quds, and other hospitals. So it's been part of my personal life and my professional life for many years.
But after 2012, you wasn't allowed again to travel into Gaza.
I was in Gaza in 2014 during the big attack. 2014, I was in Gaza. And then I was not allowed in 2021. And when the 7th of October happened, we went to Cairo immediately the day after. And I stayed in Cairo for more than 2 months trying to get in. But the Israeli occupiers did not want me to enter by name. They didn't want
Do you get any specific reason? Do they mention any reason why you're not allowed as a person?
The Israelis don't give reasons. They are rulers who decide as they want. But previously, they said that I, quote unquote, that this man knows some of the worst people on earth. They said in 2014, actually.
If we focus on Gaza, the people in Gaza, the last 2.5 years, we only know about the suffering in Gaza. We only know about the suffering in Gaza and the pain and the genocide, basically. What's the best memories you have from Gaza?
I think by and large, the West wants to portray people in the global South as suffering, as helpless, for two reasons. Number one, because the vast culture, the power, the richness of the people of the global South. Not only the Palestinians, but the people of Africa, South America, Asia. That culture often outsmarts the Western culture. It's older, it's richer, it's more diverse, and it's very strong. So to validate or to justify colonialism, the people of the global South are always portrayed as suffering, as helpless, as brutes, as terrorists, what have you. But what really touched me with the Palestinian people is their very deep culture. Precisely that. And their ability to stand on their own feet. And for the last 2.5 years, the people of Gaza and the West Bank have been able to withstand two of the most brutal forces on earth today, namely the Israeli occupation army and the U.S. military system and political power. They have not surrendered. And in this picture, you know, the West wants to portray the Palestinians in Gaza as suffering and helpless. Yes, there is a lot of suffering in Gaza, which comes directly from the Israeli occupation forces and the strategy of apartheid, of colonizing, of annihilating, of genocide. Or as Dr. Mustafa Barghouti, my good friend, said today, 3 war crimes at the same time: genocide, ethnic cleansing, and collective punishment. Despite this extreme hardship, if you go to Gaza today, the families, even in the tents, will make you a meal, will find food for you, will talk gently about their own situation, and not, first of all, complain about their suffering. Because these are people of high class. These are people of high education. And those who care to know, they will know that the Palestinian people have always been the most educated people in the Middle East. You know, they have national tests at high school level, primary school. You know that? And I happen to know quite a number of families in Gaza, which I love very much. One of these families have been bombed twice during the last occupation and attack. They've lost 60% of the family members. But still, they have young people, and one of their children, she actually graduated from high school as the best in her region.
Okay.
Despite the fact that their house had been bombed twice. And her parents were killed and her siblings were killed. She, Lana, managed to study, to proceed, and to go through the hardship of siege, occupation, lack of food, lack of water, lack of electricity. With the support of her family, she kept studying. And she did the best exam at the national tests of all in her region. So, yes, there is suffering in Gaza. But I have another word for Gaza.
Okay.
And that is resistance, respect, and resilience. You know that the Palestinians, they have a name for it. It's called Sumud.
Sumud.
And it is this never-ending capacity to sustain hardship without giving up the steadfastness of the Palestinian people. And as I said, I'm not a military man. I'm not a military fighter. But anybody who knows anything about military history must be quite impressed by the fact that the Palestinian resistance in Gaza has resisted the Israeli army and the U.S. support for more than 2.5 years now without surrendering. And that itself says tons about the capacity of the Palestinian people and their love for their country. I don't support any attacks on civilians, come it from U.S. forces, from NATO forces, from Russian forces, from Ukrainian forces, from Israeli forces, or from Palestinian forces. Civilians should always be protected. But with that precondition, I fully support the armed resistance of the Palestinian people, because as a doctor, I see that the end of occupation is the only ultimate medical prevention, or it is the preventive medicine that will stop all this bloodshed that we see, that will stop all these amputations that we have, that will stop all these children dying from malnutrition or cold because of the siege. I'm a man of peace, like the people of Palestine. If you left the Palestinian people to themselves alone and gave them their country, they wouldn't fight anybody. They wouldn't fight anybody. But given the situation, the Palestinian people has the same internationally anchored right to fight the occupiers with arms, just the same right as the Ukrainian people has. And while Europe is supporting Ukraine with political sanctions against Russia, weapons, money, they travel to Kyiv, all the leaders of Europe, why not support the Palestinian struggle against their occupiers, which is Israel? This double standard is extremely shameful, and it is a moral collapse of Europe and the Western societies and governments. The good thing is that the people of the West have been standing up in solidarity to an extent that we have never seen before. We have never seen the kind of mass solidarity movements that we see now in support of the Palestinian struggle.
Worldwide, basically.
Worldwide, basically, absolutely. And not at least in the global South, who knows colonialism. Because at the end of the day, the Palestinian struggle is a struggle against Western colonialism, Israeli settler colonialism, and the U.S. settler colonialism. And that is poison for human life. Because it means what we see in Gaza and what we saw in Beirut in 81 and 82. It means death, it means siege, it means starvation, and it means massive injustice to the people of Palestine and the people of Lebanon and the people of Syria, wherever the U.S. colonialism will take them.
Israel claims many things. One of the things that they claim is that Hamas is in and under the hospitals. And you have been visiting Gaza for many years. You have been working in Gaza for many, many years. We're talking about more than 20 years. Where is the truth in this story? Is there any truth?
Not to my knowledge, but, this is the obligation of Israel to prove that. And they have never been able to prove that. You have to remember that Israel, the Zionist regime, they have their own propaganda machinery. It's called the Hashpara. The Hashpara, and it's a multi-million-dollar department of propaganda. Excuse me. And they are promoting all sorts of lies and trying to confuse people all over the world. And their attempts to discredit Palestinian healthcare has never been proven. So you have to understand that Israel is a lie machine. It's a lie machine. I say that because I've been following this lie machine for more than 40 years. I've never been able to track the documentation they have given for the most horrendous lies they have perpetrated. And there are all these commissions. It's the Goldstone Commission. It's the commission after 2014. International commissions. And don't forget what the Palestinian leadership said in November 2023. They said, because of the accusations from Israel, they said, we invite an international committee to investigate all the hospitals in Gaza. Freely, they can go where they want. They will not be harmed in any way. They will have a free way. It has just to be composed by legal experts and experts in the field. Who stopped that? Israel stopped that. They didn't want that. Why is Israel stopping Western journalists from coming to Gaza? And they still do. Not a single Western journalist allowed into Gaza. Why is that? Because they fear the truth. And they cannot prove any of these lies to be true. And one more thing. There is not one single modern hospital in the world, including in my city, my university hospital, all the hospitals here in Denmark and in Sweden. All hospitals have tunnels underneath. They have tunnels for technical transportation. They have tunnels for transporting patients from one building to another building. They have tunnels to organize the supply of medical gases and electricity and computer lines and all that. So tunnels are part of a modern hospital. So this stupidity of the Israelis that they should be allowed to bomb and to attack Palestinian hospitals in Gaza because they have tunnels, it's beyond stupid. But it's very dangerous because superficial media in the West keep repeating the claims of Israel without doing their homework, namely to do an objective investigation and find out. But there are many good journalists in the West, in addition to the bravest of the brave, the journalists in Gaza, the Palestinians and the Arab journalists. But they are not allowed in. So what do Israel have to hide? And the answer is a lot. They have everything to hide. I think we should look at Gaza today as a crime scene, because one of the worst crimes in our history, in our modern history, has been perpetrated in Gaza, and it should be investigated. You remember Srebrenica, the war crimes in Srebrenica, the mass murder of Muslims there? All these graveyards were dug up. Forensic doctors came from all over the world to find out each and everybody, who was it, how was he or she killed, in order to do a due investigation of who were the responsible and who were to be charged for war crimes. And they were taken to Hague, and they were put to the judges, and they were sentenced. Never with Israel, until South Africa now took them to the International Court of Justice, ICJ, and until now, when ICC took Israel on accusations of war crimes. So it is this, very ugly situation that Israel can do what they want with impunity and with full support from the West and from the US. And this is an incredibly important moral problem for the West, because it is the lack of accountability for Israel that the West have been cultivating since 1948. Israel can do whatever they want. They are never held accountable. They're never taken to court for their war crimes. They have enjoyed full impunity. Now that has to come to an end, and that is finally coming to an end because the Global South are taking them to the International Court of Justice. Unfortunately, neither Denmark nor Sweden nor Norway nor most of the Western European countries have supported the South African court case in the International Court of Justice. Why haven't they?
It's complicated, they say.
Because of this connection to Israel, and because that if you have one single critical comment about Israel and their war crimes, you are immediately labeled an anti-Semite, which of course is stupid. I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm a dedicated anti-racist. I would defend any Jew who was attacked or any Jew who was harassed with the same intensity and the same moral obligation as I defend the Palestinian.
Human as any human.
I criticize Zionism. I criticize apartheid. I criticize colonialism and occupation. And that's my duty.
Do you think Western media and politicians have failed in Gaza?
I think we need to have a mixed answer to that, and to try to be objective. I know many good journalists in the Western media who have tried their very best to find the true facts and to find sources of information in Gaza, in the West Bank, behind the barriers, behind all the siege and the walls. But as Israel has practiced this complete ban on Western media, of course, it has been difficult. So on an individual level, I think that a large number of Western journalists have done a good job, the best they could. But the mainstream media, they have by and large been on the side of Israel.
Even through all the hard, painful years that Gaza have been going through. Do you still have hope for Gaza's future?
Of course I have. Of course I have.
In what way?
Like the people of Gaza and like the people of the West Bank and like the Palestinian people in the diaspora and like all the good people on this earth, we have hope for Gaza and for Palestine. Because Palestine is right and Israel is wrong. Palestine is defending itself. Mother Palestine is standing up for all the people on this who are subjected to occupation and colonization. And I have great hope for Palestine. And if you just look at the videos from Gaza now, after the not functioning but so-called ceasefire, you see how they tidy up, how they try to rebuild, how they try to organize their tents, how they clean the roads, how they start schooling in tents. They've been doing that for 2.5 years. There is an irresistible energy in the Palestinian people for survival and to continue the struggle for their rights. And the terrorists are failing. The terrorists from Israel, from the Israeli occupation army, the terrorists from the United States, they are failing and they will fail big time. All empires are collapsing. And I think, as Dr. Mustafa Barghouti said, there will be a solution. And the solution will be one democratic state for all.
So that means you think and you believe and you hope for a free Palestine from the river to the sea?
I hope for a free Palestine where the Palestinian people decide their own future, just like my Norwegian people has had the right to define their right future. We were occupied by the German army for 5 years. We threw them out with the help of the Red Army, with the help of the Allied, but most of all with our armed resistance. It looked dark. It was a brutal occupation, nothing compared to the Israeli occupation of Palestine and Gaza, but we won. And we won because of the pride, the strength, and the resilience of the Norwegian people. Nobody wants to give up their land. Nobody wants to give up their family. Nobody wants to give up their religion, their faith, their future. And the Palestinian people, to my knowledge and in my experience, the Palestinian people is the most hopeful people on earth. And I'm sure that Gaza will be free, West Bank will be liberated, Palestine will be free.
Awesome.
My job is to continue night and day with solidarity work. But the main work, the main job, the main obligation to free Palestine lies with the Palestinian people themselves, and they will succeed. Kuluna Gaza, Kuluna Palestine, Gaza hatta Nasser, Palestine hatta Nasser.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for everything you have been doing to this world. What you have been doing to Gaza and Palestinians all around the world.
Thank you.
Basically everyone who have needed you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just one small person. The great people are the people of Palestine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shukran.